Looking for the next Iceland? We've got you covered. Welcome to MojoTravels, and today we're counting down our picks for the coolest under-the-radar travel destinations in 2019. Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to MojoTravels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at some of the most beautiful, unique, and picturesque locations as listed by Forbes that are on track to become the next big travel destinations, with a strong focus on the Northern Hemisphere. Idaho, USA. Admit it, this is the last place you thought we'd start our list. But hey, isn't that kind of the point? We want to help you discover travel opportunities that offer unique experiences that you likely never would have otherwise considered. And Idaho is exactly such an opportunity. For starters, US travelers in particular should take advantage of the fact that this particular travel destination won't cost them much to get to. But we'd go so far as to argue that international travelers seeking an under-the-radar destination should consider it as well. Now, we know what you're thinking. When you hear the word Idaho, you might think potato. But what should be coming to mind is a mental picture of stunningly diverse natural wonders. Waterfalls, dramatic rolling hills and mountains, hot springs, canyons, lakes, and more. Idaho is truly a land of adventure just waiting to be explored. The city of Soda Springs even has its very own geyser. The Faroe Islands. If there's one place that's a clear standout as the next Iceland, it's probably the Faroe Islands. Lately, they've been gaining a fair amount of love online, but as far as travel destinations go, they've by no means become a household name. If they're destined to become truly trendy, the process has only just begun. But hey, why not play it safe and book your trip sooner rather than later? Though technically a part of Denmark, the Faroe Islands are actually much closer to Scotland, lying about 200 miles north of the mainland. Wet and windy, this destination is the definition of striking rugged beauty, softened only by beautiful sunsets, charming little towns, and the abundance of sheep, who actually outnumber the permanent residents. Made up of 18 volcanic islands, this destination needs to be seen to be believed. Its slogan is unspoiled, unexplored, unbelievable, and it certainly lives up to it. Finland. This nation really has got it all, including an abundance of natural beauty and modern, culturally rich cities. Helsinki is an architecture lover's delight due to the wide array of styles that have been explored over the centuries. Not only does the city proudly display its history, it's also on the cutting edge of contemporary design, making it a destination where past, present, and future coexist in harmony. And as for the culinary scene, don't even get us started. But Helsinki is by no means the only Finnish city worth visiting. You should also check out Espoo, Turku, and the various other major population centers. Of course, Finland isn't just for the urban-minded. The beautiful and diverse landscape is arguably an even bigger draw. The country boasts 39 national parks, making serenity and calm in the great outdoors easy to find. Plus, it doesn't hurt that they're reportedly the happiest nation on Earth. Maybe you can internalize their way of life and bring it home with you. That's the sort of souvenir that's worth holding on to. Greenland. Don't let the name fool you. This island has much more to offer than uniform fields of grass. In fact, Greenland actually isn't that green, and it's not for sale. Over 3/4 of the land is actually permanently encased in a layer of ice. Such conditions tend to limit the development of infrastructure, and so despite having been inhabited on and off for roughly the last 4,500 years, Greenland remains one of the most pristine areas of northern wilderness on our planet. Like the Faroe Islands, Greenland is an autonomous territory of Denmark, and despite technically being part of the North American landmass, it feels very culturally rooted in European tradition, as well as those of the Inuit people. The landscape itself, however, remains distinctly wild and unkempt, while dotting this dramatic land of ice and sharp peaks are clusters of brightly colored little homes. Newfoundland, Canada. While we're in North America, let's talk about Canada's most overlooked and underappreciated province. Newfoundland, referred to lovingly by locals as the Rock, can often feel rather desolate. When traveling this land, one can't help but consider the sort of hardships that settlers must have faced trying to carve out a life for themselves in this often inhospitable environment. But there's no denying its dark and arresting beauty, from the tempestuous rolling seas and rocky shoreline to its majestic mountains. Plus, like Norway, it's got its very own fjords. Add to that the northern lights and the opportunity to go whale watching, and you can begin to appreciate its unique natural appeal. But we haven't even mentioned the culture. Newfoundlanders are an extremely hospitable people who are big on community. So, while you're there, be sure to engage with some locals. The people of Newfoundland are famously passionate about music. The Azores. Kinda like Denmark and the Faroe Islands, the Azores are technically a part of another nation, in this case, Portugal. But people rarely visit mainland Portugal and the Azores on the same trip, and there's a simple reason for that. The Azores are a group of 9 volcanic islands roughly 850 miles away. The wilderness is stunning, and, much to the delight of travelers with a more adventurous spirit, remains largely untarnished. However you like to get your outdoor kicks, be it kayaking, hiking, or mountain biking, you're sure to relish every minute of your time visiting the Azores. Oh, there are also waterfalls, hot springs, geysers, and just about the most beautiful lakes you've ever seen. The Azores have been called Europe's best-kept secret island getaway, and we almost feel bad spilling the beans. Alaska, USA. Sold to the United States by Russia in 1867, Alaska is a remarkable piece of land. Not to mention a solid investment considering all the oil and gold it wound up yielding. Though travelers are unlikely to go tripping over any priceless natural resources that they can claim as their own, Alaska's pristine wilderness makes the entire state an underappreciated gem, just waiting to get the love and attention it so rightfully deserves from travelers, both domestically and internationally. Here, you can get up close and personal with glaciers, hike towering mountains, fish from icy cold waters, or even hit the slopes. Not only is the landscape jaw-dropping, there's also an abundance of wildlife to appreciate, including grizzlies, moose, and caribou. In short, Alaska makes for a truly epic vacation. And depending specifically on when you visit and where, you can also see the northern lights, or live a day with up to 22 hours of sun. Surreal does not begin to do it justice. Norway. Honestly, there are so many good reasons to visit Norway, we can't figure out why more people don't. Isn't the opportunity to walk in the footsteps of Vikings reason enough? But sure, we'll make a larger case for adding this Scandinavian nation to your bucket list. First and foremost is the dramatic landscape, which includes fjords, waterfalls, Trolltunga, an awe-inspiring rock formation, and Hornindalsvatna, the deepest lake in Europe. Norway has often been called one of the most beautiful nations in the world, and the more time you take to explore this land of natural rugged enchantment, the harder time you'll have disagreeing with that assertion. Honestly, the Lofoten archipelago looks like something out of a work of fiction. Also, Norway is among the happiest places on Earth, second only to Finland. And when it comes to happiness, we think that second best is more than good enough. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MojoTravels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.